Welcome everybody to Funeral Nation episode 123, baby. I am Ryan Thogmartin. That is Jeff, the funeral commander Harbison. We are in our respected habitats, finally.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one doesn't allow me to be my natural self. I have to be on my best behavior. However, It's good to be here. We're looking up at Labor Day, which is exciting. Are you guys doing anything different as a family?
We'll be at the camper and pulling the camper home to take it on a little trip. So wife is getting her way.
Interesting. My sister Shannon is flying out here for the first time, so this ought to be quite a weekend.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Looking forward to it. Well, before we get started, the only way that this engine runs is to have the fuel with C&J and their team over there with Jamie and everyone. I say this weekly, but literally the funeral isn't over till you get paid. So, waiting 6 to 8 or 9 weeks to get an insurance assignment doesn't make sense. It's not good for cash flow. So let's just go ahead and talk about C&J and roll their promo.
What payment method do you prefer families use for your goods and services? Most funeral homes and cemeteries prefer cash check or credit card over life insurance as the preferred method of payment. However, families who use life insurance are able to purchase the funeral service of their choice and spend 31% more on your goods and services. By encouraging more families to pay with insurance, you can create a better experience for the family and become more profitable without increasing your call volume. The reason most firms prefer cash check or credit card over life insurance is that insurance companies are a hassle to deal with, and payment can often take weeks or months to receive. With C&J Financial, you can receive funding within 24 hours of verification of benefit, thereby eliminating the hassle, headache, and cash flow delay in processing insurance death claims. Let us show you why hundreds of funeral homes all across America choose C&J for their assignment funding needs, and why many associations, accounting firms, and industry leaders recommend C&J to their clients and members.
So Ryan, today we're going to talk about a subject that we should all be happy about, but it actually is a little bit controversial, and that's national profile funerals. I see this as a time that we should shine and there's a spotlight on us, right. But it's also a time when the criticism is out of whack, and it's not from the public or the consumers, it's within. That's right. So anyway, let's talk about some of the good things. We lost Aretha Franklin and John McCain. They're having two high-profile funerals almost going on simultaneously. Aretha Franklin, so far, I see is fantastic of a display of what's possible.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I would totally agree. And, I think when it's a time for the profession to shine, like you said, but it's also a time for us to be elaborate and show what's possible with a funeral. And I was reading that Aretha Franklin had 3 outfit changes, which is, I think that is very cool. It's very interesting, and I think it gives a perspective to a consumer of what is possible with a funeral. Sure, it's a high dollar funeral, and that's not an everyday occurrence, but I think it's really cool to see the different personality or personalization things that are happening with these high profile funerals, where they obviously have been planned and thought out long before the death occurred.
That's true. And with hers, obviously she has a great depth in music, so we'll see a lot of that over the coming days. They used a really cool hearse. I understand her father was carried in that same hearse, so there's a lot of history. I think, as you said, it's a fantastic display for all Americans to see of what's possible. Hey, you know what? They could have been cremated.
That's right.
Right? So, same thing with John McCain. I think it's fantastic. He literally right now is about a mile and a half from me at the funeral home. He's being transported. No, not at he was at the funeral home. Excuse me. He's at the nation's the Arizona Capitol. But he's being transported to, I think, Washington today, to Lyon State. But, his is different, closed casket. American flag. He's a war hero, American hero. And I just think it's fantastic. We see two simultaneous, but this is what's possible.
Yeah, and they're both extremely different.
That's exactly right. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back and talk about some negatives, which is going to be the hot part of the show. So we have somebody that does a great job that supports us. Ryan, will you share that promo with us?
Yeah, let's run the promo for Sitch Casket.
Funeral Nation is sponsored by Sitch Casket. Sitch has changed everything for funeral homes facing declining profits from cremation, with casket quality equal to the top domestic brands, but at half the cost or better. Sitch, only your accountant can tell the difference.
All right, so we're seeing caskets. We're not going with urns this week. We should have all be busting in our industry and profession of pride, but the negatives are absolutely incredible that I see and hear about.
It's nuts.
I don't get it, folks. You know, they didn't call on your funeral home to do this. Okay, so be supportive of other people. Stuff happens along the way, but you know, I've seen things. I actually wrote some notes. The first thing that came out was actually having a nameplate on the hearse for the removal for Senator McCain. So what?
Yeah.
What? I mean, what's wrong with that?
When have you not put your name on a removal vehicle?
Oh yeah, and then of course, you know, they're criticizing every step. In fact, they were loading Senator McCain up. He had an honor guard, and one of the guys toward the rear of the casket, which I believe is a big old heavy mahogany casket, he slipped a little bit, you know, just kind of wavered, and you know, newsflash, they dropped the casket. You know, just ridiculous stuff. Same thing with like Aretha. I think it's so cool. She has an a full couch casket, and she has her feet crossed. You know, like a lady, which
right.
is the comments I see. But then, rather than seeing something fantastic and say, "Hey, great job and embalming, what a wonderful display," they get all the way into, well, she has a high arch and her shoes don't fit right? And did they pedicure correctly? I mean, just ridiculous stuff. I even saw a criticism of a live video at McCain at the Arizona Capitol, where the people were going on the wrong side of the casket to view in the rotunda. You know, why aren't they going around the front?
It's absolute insanity. And you know what's crazy is it's a great time, like we've said, for our profession to shine, yet in the profession, we're doing nothing to point out the positives. It is all just negative criticism. And if it was me, I would have done this. And why do the flowers look that way? And why do they only have roses and no color? And why do they? Maybe that's what the family wanted. Who cares? Like we take ourselves far more serious in this profession than the consumer ever takes us. And it's absolutely crazy that, you know, we can have comments of, well, the way she's dressed and 3 outfit changes, that's undignified. That shouldn't be the way that it is. If that's what the family wanted, who really cares? We are not the barometer of what's dignified or undignified or professional or unprofessional. That's the consumer.
Yeah, and you know what? Traditional, we're going to start calling that the T word. You know, we've got other words we're not allowed to use. We're going to start a precedent here on Funeral Nation. When we hear traditional, we say, oh my gosh, that word offends me. The T word. Don't say the T word.
There you go. No T word.
Because guess what? The traditional is just as extinct as the people is trying to propagate it. Right? Neither one of these were traditional funerals, were they?
Nope.
Now, they were burials, but tell me how they're traditional in any sense of the imagination. So get over yourselves out here. And you know what? I do want to see what you got to say. You want to have a little criticism of what we have to say? Fine.
Yeah.
Bottom line is we should be proud of our profession. We should bolster up the people who are in a high profile, really tough position. And you know what? Little nits and nats happen from time to time. We're the only ones that see it, okay? Not the public. So give everybody a break out there is doing something great, because guess what? You can screw up too.
Well said, my man. I got nothing to add to that.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to close up here. Before we go, we need to talk about Live Oak Bank. We had Tim on last week. We're excited about the roundtable. let's go ahead and run their promo because they also have some new cemetery money. Is that correct?
That's right.
Introducing a new way for cemetery owners to grow their business. The Inventory Growth Loan, powered by Live Oak Bank. Want a better way to expand your inventory than the traditional pre-sale plans? Build and grow your businesses now. The Inventory Growth Loan leverages the value of newly constructed mausoleums and columbaria to get your expansion project moving sooner. Whether you're an existing cemetery needing to increase your number of crypts or a funeral home looking to add a memorial garden or columbarium, this product is your potential game changer. The Inventory Growth Loan recognizes the cyclical nature of cemetery sales. So when sales are low, enjoy less strain on your cash flow. When sales are strong, pay down more of your principal. A more aggressive principal paydown shortens the life of your loan and fuels further expansion. Plus, our online management system allows you to easily manage your new inventory, monitor sales, review payments, and check your loan balance all in one place. The system also automates disbursements after each sale, then updates your loan balance, which helps you stay connected to your business's performance. The Inventory Growth Loan is faster and more flexible than traditional loans, which allows you to pay less and retain more value. Ready to grow? Contact us and learn more about the Inventory Growth Loan, powered by Live Oak Bank.
Good stuff, Commander. Well, like Mr. Jeff said, leave us your comments. Make this a discussion. We want. Where are we wrong? What do you not agree with? Are we supposed to point fingers and point out all the negatives, or should we celebrate what's going on and how the funeral profession gets a week to shine with multiple high-profile funerals? So let us know in the comments. And until next time, have a great effing week.
Yeah.